not to go through all of the discussion again, because we've done that several times. We met, we came up with some draft language, assisted by Lee Hartman, myself, Ed Angley, and David Gilbar. We were able to put together some draft language which we brought forth to the planning board. And the planning board on the 1st of March agreed, the majority agreed, to bring it to a public hearing. Last evening we had that public hearing. And again, the planning board voted 3-2 to recommend to town meeting to pass this new amended language for the highway commercial. In summary, what it does is it takes highway commercial, which has been argued as to whether it's allowed or prohibited at this juncture, and make it a special permit subject to EDC use. It will be limited to those areas of the highway commercial outside of the designated Zone 2 aquifer protection areas, so set out by DEP. Now we have 2 of those. We have the major one around the Bradford well, and then with the newly rezoned 47 acres, there's a portion of the the Loud Pond well, which extends onto that newly zoned area. So there are 2 areas that will be restricted. The other thing that the language includes is it includes a phrase, licensed new auto dealers. And that's a industry phrase which basically defines what we all know to be new car dealerships. However, within that discussion and within that definition, it does allow for the sale of used cars as part of the stock that's handled by the dealerships. Of course, they're not used cars from the sense of the used car lot, but they're generally lightly used 2-3-year-old vehicles that frankly, in this day and age, they look new when you go out on the lots in many cases. So the amended language does allow for that. The other thing we did in the language was that phrase, retail uses with the display and service. We actually footnoted in the language to state that that phrase does not include auto dealerships, since we now have brought the term auto dealerships back into the bylaw. So it will be treated separately, so we will not hopefully run into the problem of, well, auto dealerships new and used are special permit, however it's also a retail use with outdoor display and service, therefore it's really an allowed use. So we tried to clarify that. Again, last evening we voted 3-2 in favor of the recommendation to town meeting to go forth with this amendment. The agreements that have been made between the proponents and the planning board were that they, should this pass town meeting, this particular amendment, they would not exercise any rights they feel they have under the zoning board's decision of last fall. The planning board agrees, if this passes, that we will pull back and cease on the litigation, the appeal which exists.